Welcome to Badly Written Boy, a reciting of my teenage years and my 20s, now as a 40-something. How do I remember all these things? I wrote it all down in a diary. Badly. Enduring with me on this retrospective, cringeworthy experience is my sister, who has never read my diaries. Alright, welcome to another episode of Badly Written Boy. Jess, you're looking very pale today.
I know, I'm so sorry. I haven't been out in the sun much.
Yes, we have been temporarily ditched because Jess values work more than the podcast, which is
Completely unacceptable.
So the way this works is we each read a couple of days from our diaries that I wrote years and years ago. We are in the year 2005. I can't promise I won't say bad things about you or have written bad things about you, which I will then also say about you. So don't try not to take it personally.
Well, I mean, you've already called me a massive slut previously, so...
A slut, a bitch. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've dropped the C-bomb on you yet.
What do you mean yet?
It's pretty harsh. I have no recollection of the events of these years until, I go over them like and only vaguely. Did you ever write any diaries out of interest?
I think I did, but it was more like venting type of stuff. So I think it was probably all very depressing.
Yeah. I actually destroyed a couple of my diaries because the stuff that was written in there was just awful.
So is that why there's like a huge gap?
There was a gap in the diaries between when I finished doing A-levels and started doing A-levels. And I think it wasn't until maybe into uni a bit where I started to write again. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't really have that much time. You think your social life is just the absolute most important thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, June the 1st.
June the 1st. What year?
2005. So I have returned from a disastrous trip to Australia. And I have a job back in the local shop for local people. It was known as Mills back then.
Oh my God, yes!
I think it was, it's Tesco Extra now, but I'm pretty sure it was obviously a Mills back then. And I think at some stage it was a Spa.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Spa went under. Oh my God, I completely forgot you worked down there.
I did, unfortunately. Okay, June the 1st, Wednesday. Even after last Sunday's shift, I was willing to give Mills a fair crack of the whip. I've only been there a week. But after today, I don't really think I can be bothered with the grief it brings. Today, I was at work from 12 until 6.
Oh, so taxing.
As soon as I got in, Paul brought to my attention the result of the scenario from yesterday, when I had entered the wrong amount on a pay point.
Dun, dun, dun.
I wonder if it was like thousands. Because I'd not cancelled it straight away, which I did not know how to do. Paul wasn't available to show me at the time, may I add. The guy who I was serving actually got £45 worth of credit for free. That's pretty good. Now, I apologised, and Paul said it was okay. But if you were to ask him when I wasn't around, I sense he'd be bitter about it. This was all too obvious, as he sent me to do the most degrading job for the majority of the shift. Out back, behind the shop, there was a whole heap of skips and about 20 cages covered in plastic and cardboard, which hadn't been broken down or binned appropriately. It was raining and everything was covered in water and filth. Paul had me out there cleaning the mess that they'd accumulated.
That sounds like a horrible job.
I mean, I think he was making me a scapegoat, really, for that human error. Which, to be fair, wasn't my fault to a certain extent. He must think I'm stupid. I'm applying for the Halfords job. Oh, that's the bike shop, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I got a hold of Elsden's number. He works at Halfords at the moment to make sure there were still staff availabilities. Thankfully, there were. I pray I can pick up that job or even another, if an opportunity should arise. There is definitely a lack of respect for me at Mills. It's a total joke. He was such an asshole, that manager.
I think most people that I know call Paul a twats. Absolute twats.
Down with the Pauls. Just have a mass culling of Pauls.
Yes.
All right, June the 2nd. It was so nice to finally have a day off. After the insult that was yesterday's Mills shift, I decided to press on, filling out the Halfords application form, and I got the form in. Then I commandoed. Okay. Okay.
That's one way to get a job.
Yes. So I don't know if this is crawling on ground or just not wearing any pants. Through the obstacle course that is the car park to Blockbuster Video. Blockbuster!
Blockbuster!
Yeah.
Yes! That was
What's-
like the
what-
one and only best store in Manor Walks.
What's there now?
A B&M.
Not quite Blockbuster though, is it?
The excitement and the thrill of getting there for the latest release.
I know.
Because it might not be there. And you'd be like, oh my God!
It was-
Can you check, like, the returns bin?
Ben worked there for a while. I did try and get a job there. But they had like all the ex-rental DVDs on the cheap.
Yes.
So I remember picking up a few of those.
Oh, man.
So I'm at Blockbuster. I wondered if Ben was in. He wasn't, but I called and got Team America.
Fuck yeah.
I didn't have to pay for it because he said he just put it on his account. Yes. Another mate, Ian, rang later on just as we began to watch the film. He recommended a £200. Oh, okay. So we're looking around for holidays, and he found a £200 week stay in Ibiza. That fits the bill. El Cheapo holiday. Myself, Lang Humble, and Ian. So I'm going to meet up with him tomorrow and check out the small print. Team America was hilarious. That was one of their better ones.
Oh my God, I love Team America. It's never not funny.
America!
Fuck yeah!
It was South Park beaten into Thunderbirds, essentially. That's a pretty good description.
Yeah.
After that, we continued watching TV, an episode of the original South Park series, Big Brother.
Oh my God, Big Brother.
What year did Big Brother start?
I'm going to guess it was probably...
That was the one that Craig won, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the start of like Nasty Nick. And I think that's what got all the attention because it was kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say maybe 99.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be about right. I think I applied to be on it one year when it was reaching the peak of its popularity because it started to taper off quite a bit.
Yeah, they just started getting stupid attention-seeking people in. Like, it was good when it was what it should have been, which was like a social experiment.
Yeah.
Okay, so Friday the 3rd of June. Today, Philip came up to visit for a few days, but more importantly, so we can see the new Star Wars tomorrow.
Yes.
I must apologise, I am dyslexic.
Is that you saying that, or is that in the diary?
Sorry, that's me saying that.
Okay.
I am legitimately dyslexic, so it might not necessarily be your writing.
It probably is my writing. Hence the name, Badly Written Boy.
Oh, is that where it's from?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is pretty poorly written.
Because I had to start work at 5, we went out for a brief walk. We drove to Charlie's Garden, which Mum tells me, according to Grandpa, is actually named after a garden of Charlie's that then fell into the sea, presumably due to erosion.
I wonder if Charlie was in the garden when it all caved in. Well, I mean, is he just standing next to the garden, like waving goodbye to his garden, collapsing into the sea? Oh my God! I mean, he had a high-pitched voice, did Charlie?
Work wasn't as bad today. Paul wasn't in and there wasn't any unbearable customers. So I tolerated the drunks, but it was Friday night and can only be expected. I saw a whole host of familiar faces from my sixth form days at Crammy High. One of them was Juliet from my old design class. She had a mask of makeup, but I'm sure she saw through it to recognise me. Jesus. To recognise me, despite her not saying anything. What is that? Like, when you see people from school, when you've kind of like, you're out of it, you recognise each other, but you're just like, I don't know you.
I won't have seen her since about 2001, because that's when I went to uni. And I just happened to have this job in this shop.
You kind of want to say to people, it's like, I don't live here.
Well, like,
I'm just passing through.
Yeah, like the adventure I've just had, I'm just like, what's she thinking? Like, oh, this guy, he's not, he's working in a shop. Like, I mean, not dissing people work in shops, but I've done other stuff.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
just want to kind of get like a bit braggy about it. But I've done things. I'm important.
I work in a shop.
I have many leather-bound books.
In seeing episode 3 of Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith today, it marked the end of an era in terms of notorious movie trilogies. With Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and The Matrix coming and going, what great names in the movie history what does that even mean?
I think I'm trying to say what trilogies can now be made that are going to eclipse those ones that have been made. Because in what you had Star Wars, you had Lord of the Rings, you got Back to the Future, Indiana Jones. There's what the other films that are going to come out that are going to be better than those ones that have already been made.
Revenge of the Sith was enjoyable, if inevitable. Inevitable. The acting was marginally better than on episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah, I can believe that. I think the only good bit of acting in probably the entire trilogy was when Hayden Christensen's in the partially in the lava, and Ewan McGregor's saying something like, you were the chosen one, and he's like reaching out and he's like, help me, and that's about it. Because there's some pretty shitty acting in those films.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen. He had so much promise, and it was just like, wah, wah, wah.
I know. He's kind of come back around, though, hasn't he? Because I don't know if you know, he's appeared in one of the more recent Star Wars TV series.
How did you know that?
As a Force ghost. And he trains up. So I think it's the Ashoka Star Wars TV series. And he appears as a Force ghost and he helped trains her up.
Oh.
And his acting in that's probably better than it is in the entire trilogy.
Attended a couple of classes.
Right, I'm going to have to call out some of this stuff if it is badly written, because we haven't got Goodly Written Girl here to call me out. Okay, Sunday the 5th of June. Today was a finely balanced affair. Firstly, having dragged myself out of bed so I could be around for Phil's for the last half day here before he returned to Nuneaton. My Gran and Grandpa came around specifically to see him. I took a few photos in an attempt to finish the film off. There's still wind-on films.
Oh my God.
It's pre-smartphones.
So not even a digicamera?
No, not even. One of the things we all discussed in our gluttony was Michelle's continuing lack of financial restraint. Here's the good stuff. Excellent. I then asked Grandpa what it cost him at the uni back in his younger days. £33 a term. Or was it a year? Either way, 33 quid for university. In some other countries, it's like 6 figures. This afternoon, I was getting stuck into my CV, putting together a nice visual package of landscape firms. The whole lark of data transfer between scanners, disks, programs, and computers slows the whole process down greatly. Sometimes the computers aren't even able to take care of things and just decides to put the shits up ya by saying something like, fatal error, program will be closed automatically.
No!
How dare it? I'm quite impressed with the way my uni work is coming on. This is the first time I've talked about doing any in this break. I'm impressed with how it's coming together. Oh, to send to landscape firms.
Okay.
So it's just the portfolio, but it's to try and get actual work at a landscape practice. My lingering doubts over my abilities were put to rest for a while, having seen some of my old project work. I'd have done more on it, but I got a call from Paul at Mills wondering if I'd work this afternoon and evening. I found a positive overworking at the local shop. I've seen many faces I haven't seen for years. On today's shift, for example, I saw Juliette again, but I spoke to her this time. I just sort of stared at her last time like, yeah. Can you see me through the makeup?
Painted your fucking eyes shut.
Yeah. She liked my Australian twang in the accent. I think she must be going out with this Irish fella because he was with their... she was there with her again. I can't fucking read. Because he was there with her again. And I'm assuming he must have been speaking for me to know he was Irish.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's just that I'm Irish written on his forehead.
Standing there like a leprechaun outface.
You're just making like weird chirpy Irish noises. Oh, hey, oh, hey.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. Tips his hat, jumps back over the rainbow. Is that a pot of gold?
Tuesday, June the 7th. There was an air of optimism around today that I hadn't anticipated. I finally got around to sending some of my refined CVs out to landscape firms. I don't really want to go to work.
So why am I applying for it then?
Oh no, I think you mean at Mills. Today's shift was to be 1 hour more than yesterday. Oh my God.
The hardship.
So you'd have to work, what, 6 hours?
Let's all just take a moment to reflect on the hardship that I've been through at Mills to date. At least 2 weeks of work. Having to do things to get paid money and not do what I want to do.
Absolute liberties. So it was 1 whole hour more than yesterday. So you'd think it was destined to be more crap. That wasn't the case.
Optimism.
Okay. Just when I'd thought I'd met every staff member who up until now consisted of subhuman cave creatures.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
Wow. That's some teamwork right there.
Subhuman cave creatures.
Yep. Things changed.
Wow. Okay.
A younger girl named Steph was working at one of her irregular shifts.
Irregular?
Irregular.
All right. Giggity.
And it was very nice to meet her. She has ambition beyond Mills, being the A-level student she is, and is so blatantly smarter than the other staff members. One of her toenails, has a higher IQ than a lot of them.
There you go.
And you put M as well. And she has the look like a cheeky, curious pose. She obviously wanted to know who I was.
Of course she did.
Fortunately, Paul had the both of us doing the pops. So we got a chance to talk and we hit it off pretty well.
Yeah, yes.
The opportunity arose and I almost asked her out for a drink.
Don't move too fast, Mark. Reel it in a bit.
She's working tomorrow, so I'll pop in to say hi. And you've written it high as in height. H-I-G-H.
So I'm just going to walk by and then levitate.
But then you've scribbled out the GH so that it does say hi, but...
That's gold.
Yeah. When Steph finished at 4, those last 4 hours of my shift burst thin in the air. Actually, I had 2 bottles of Lucozade and went bananas.
Wow.
I still had energy after work and went for a crazy jog.
Burn off all that testosterone.
I passed Hope near the end. How do you jog like that? She asked. It's nice to be noticed.
So just jogging to show off, basically.
Either that or maybe you were like Kermit, like arms in the air.
Yes, that would be way better.
Yeah, how do you jog like that?
Yeah, because you don't really understand the tone from how I've written it. It wasn't like, how do you run like that? It was like, how do you run like that? Mild disgust. You freak.
Oh, God. Wednesday, the 8th of June. Mum had left a list of things to do, which included doing more on the patio.
Oh my God, I still haven't finished the patio.
In truth, the only thing that I was looking forward to was going to Mills to check out Steph again.
At least I'm honest.
Yeah, true. I know she was on at 6, so I used needing Lucozade as an excuse to go down.
Drinking a lot of Lucozade.
Yeah, more energy.
Fueling the fire.
More passion, more passion. Once again, she was full of talk, and I had not been wrong about her being a fox.
A fox.
I just wish I'd hung around longer, but there was a queue.
I've just got visions of hogging her attention when she's the only one serving this massive line of people. Just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. I'll buy this Lucozade. Take as long as you like.
And I'll buy some condoms.
Yeah, extra large.
I felt... I don't even know what that says.
Myself?
I felt... I don't know if that says... Wretched?
Wretched.
R-E-C-H-I-D.
Nope.
Is that what you're trying to say, wretched?
Yeah, no W at the start. Apparently.
Wretched. And still feel crap now. Maybe it was the jog yesterday.
Maybe I need to pop a couple more Lucozades.
Yeah. And Barbara and Pip were pulling my leg about looking bigger since I've got back. Maybe it was a joke, but that shit is so demoralizing. Why do they think it's funny? You're fat. Ha ha ha! Fat shaming.
I got a call from a Sheffield-based landscape office who I'd emailed to my CV out to. They wondered if I could forward that to Sheffield City Council, who are looking for landscape graduates. I said yes, of course, and the lady who called me will get back to me tomorrow and with some salary details. That's promising. I have no memory of that. That would be an awesome job to get. June the 10th, it's Friday. It was another early start down at Mills. Not only did I get up at 6, but Leanne needed me to stay until 2. So I worked for 8 hours. Get used to it, pal. I'd forgotten about the meeting at Ian's regarding the holiday until he rang me. Turkey now looks like the most likely destination. I forgot the name of the place, but it's on the beach, and it's in a month's time. I will have to have been paid by then, but in the meantime, I'm skint. I need Mum to pay for it. Oh, there's a shocker. Which she wasn't thrilled with, as I can imagine. I think she was concerned about the possible conflicts between the holiday and starting a job in Sheffield. Should I even get that? Jamie's in the shop today. He was in a suit dressed in the role of a teacher. He's up his own arse. And the nerve to give me shit. He said, making good use of your degree there, Jacko. Fat bastard.
Prick.
Yeah, there's a bit of a story behind him. He caught up with a student of his from that school, and he's been banned from teaching now.
Good. Pervert.
Yep.
Saturday the 11th of June. I was without anything to do today until I had the idea of trading some of my old CDs in for some new ones. I have piles of CDs in my collection that have no meaning to me anymore. Some are just banished from my collection because they are crap.
Nickelback.
But you still dance around if you hear Remind Me.
I can't actually remember the last time I heard that, but you don't have to, sing it back. Is it worth it? Sorry.
This is how you remind me. I'm searching for more of that rock and roll sound.
I sound like some sort of 50s rocker. I'm looking for more of that rock and roll sound.
More Zeppelin, more Hendrix. And now we're in 2005. Show me the White Stripes. Christen me some Kings of Leon while you're at it.
Strange way of putting it, anyway.
I picked up the most recent material by the last two bands in town this Arvo. I got Paul to meet me there. He rode his bike to the city as his helmet suggested. After I exchanged old music for new, we went upstairs on Northumberland Street, Hustlers, to shoot some pool. Oh, I remember that place. Paul tells me Kings of Leon are playing in Newcastle on the 9th of July and that he might have a spare ticket. That would be most excellent. Work was testing. Paul found that
I feel some insults coming on.
Paul found that some money had been misplaced and I was under some scrutiny myself. I think they were £20 short in one of the tills and Paul's huffing and puffing about it. It's pretty ridiculous when you rationalise it with the consideration that the recent events, such as the theft of £500 worth of Nescafe.
How do you fit 500 quid's worth of Nescafe? Like in a jacket or something?
Nescafe!
Unless they've got like a whole crate of it.
500 quid?
I mean, how much is like, I think an Nescafe would have been like, what, like under a tenner, surely?
I mean, I suppose it depends how big it is, but like in 2000...
So that's like a big box of Nescafe, and they've just
And it would
walked
have
out
to be
with it.
like the big jars as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just find the person who's like clearly hopped up on caffeine. When Steph came in at 4, she willed me
to what?
willed me to be on until 10. Bet I let her know that I was finishing at 6. Some guy she knows blew her out of the water through when he asked her if she was still with her fella, to which I didn't hear a reply. We were both on the tills at the time. I get the impression she's a player. Like, if I was willing, she'd drop the other guy, of course. Then, somewhere down the line, if the opportunity arose, I'd be dropped too. I see you. So
Weird speculation, isn't it?
you fancy this girl.
Yeah.
And you're just surmising what she's like from a couple of conversations. And it's like, she's a player. I could have her. But then she dropped me.
The musical. The 13th, Monday. I basically just messed around today. Yes, whether it be playing on the Mega Drive, Dreamcast, or PC, or watching mindless TV programs with Ben. It was all pretty tame. I did go up to Manor Walks this morning, mainly to drop off the application form for Blockbuster.
Oh, God. Yes, I forgot about the trauma of actually having paper copies of application forms, and then you had to go there.
Yeah, it's weird. Like even at 2000, I don't know why I keep looking at it. It is 2005. We're still not using email as like a consistent form of communication. There's no like online process to go through. Okay,
and then you have to trust the people that you give it to. Though
they could just bin it. Yeah.
I know.
I received a call from Kate at Anders Elite once again. She was just letting me know the Sheffield City Council would not be seeking my services because they were looking for a graduate with more experience. Right, so just exactly how does graduates get any experience at all then? There's no drastic measure that I can take, but it's occasions like this I just feel like telling landscape architecture to fuck off and I'll become an actor or a writer.
Oh! Writer, I could see, you've been writing. Actor,
badly.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how up to date you are with some of the episodes, but there's been some pretty funny side hustles that haven't come together. At least Kate from Anders Elite is keeping me on the books there and will send my CV out to any firms in the region that I've specified.
Lies.
Handy. Ben came over and we watched unintelligent programs like Big Brother and Daddy Sanchez. Daddy Sanchez.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
But they're just so damn funny. That was like a more brutal version of Jackass, wasn't it? Were they Welsh?
Yes.
Yeah. And they used to just like throw bricks at each other and stuff.
I think there was
glass.
I think there's a lot of stuff with poo as well. Like a lot.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what a Daddy Sanchez is, but I'm not going to speculate. June the 14th, Tuesday. Although my knee had been sore from the previous game of footy, I still wanted to try out the new footwear. So I called Lank and got him to go jogging with me. He was happy to run across the grass plains of Cramlington. He clearly runs quite a bit, and you wouldn't have thought he'd exerted himself the slightest as we ran along, which I huffed and puffed and panted through, sweated like an American in the Sahara, running towards a mirage of McDonald's.
Thursday, the 16th of June. I had always intended on going out this evening, but I felt so tired. Mere hours beforehand, I was contemplating an early night. Who am I kidding? I started drinking beforehand.
I'm so tired. Give me the booze!
Because I didn't have much cash, but that didn't turn out to be a problem because I got lifts to and from town of Lank and Ian. It was weird though, because we all travelled around the bars in Newcastle. I felt less and less cool. My hair, my clothes, my voice, everything I say. It's all stupid.
Pretty damning.
Pour me another one and we'll all end up in Foundation. Oh, Foundation. Oh my God.
That was a rock club, wasn't it?
It kind of switched around quite a lot.
Where was Foundation?
Foundation was in what's now the Centre of Life.
Oh, okay.
Square bit.
Right.
Where we did nothing but mince and jiggle around the dance. To the flavour of the month.
Kermit stuff again.
On the way home, I went to Tesco's to get some junk food.
We always used to do this on the way back because Lank had a car by this stage. So we would go to Tesco, which by that stage was 24 hour.
Yeah.
And we'd just eat like Haribo in the car park like losers.
I was ruining a scenario in the club which had seen a man in the bathroom haggle me for money for the service he provided me.
Did I say what service?
In washing my hands.
I used to fucking hate it when they did that though. They give you the soap and a Chupa Chup and they'd be like, yeah, pay me.
You've literally said, get a real job, you bastard. Oh, Dave always calls them the oh my god, what does he call them? The
Hand wash hagglers.
no. Freshen up. That's it. Freshen up. Always calls them the freshen up guys
The
because
freshen up guys.
there was always this one in probably like the only club in Northampton, and he'd always be like, freshen up. You got to freshen up.
At least he's trying to entertain you as well.
This is true. I mean, in girls' bathrooms, all of the ladies in there, they were just like counsellors. There would always be like a girl just crying on them, being like, oh my God. And there was always something really dramatic, and they'd just be sitting there going, 20 pence, please.
20 pence. 17th, Friday. I've forgotten about the weight of regret at having to go to work the morning after a night of drinking. Along with that foe came flashbacks of how much an ass I was last night. It was probably for the best that I was not put straight on the till at work. Any interaction with the public would have been bad. Instead, I worked the backstock of wine, beer, and confectionery. Confectionery not spelt the right way at all.
Why would you want to be around beer and stuff, though, if you're hungover?
I'd rather do that than be like face up to customers. Saturday the 18th. I could just spoil everything by not writing here, mess up the diary. I'm sure I can talk about something. Nothing happened today. No, hang on. Granny and Grandpa came over and cooked lunch. Granny doesn't approve of my holiday and the fact that I'm getting paid and using the money for it and not giving it to Mum. Mum's always spinning yarns and exaggerating on what shits we all are. So Granny has these preempted opinions and will always have a go when she does see me.
Oh, getting told off by Granny, though. Oh, my days.
Can't mess with Granny.
You really can't. But yeah, you're a shit. And your mother's lying to her mother about it. Sunday, June the 19th. Michelle's tall friend Craig.
He's pretty tall, to be fair.
He is, he's 6'5". Came to the door looking for her. In a strange twist, it turns out to be the ex of Steph at work, and he wanted to meet up with her again. I remember her.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
What do you remember about her?
The tea. I remember I quite liked her.
Yeah.
Like, she was a nice girl. Yeah. Didn't know why they broke up.
And I don't know what's happened to her. I didn't. Well, I suppose it was probably pre-Facebook.
5.
I think I got into.
We still had.
Friends Reunited was a thing.
No, MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah, I had a MySpace.
That was the big thing. I think it probably was around 2005.
I think I got into it at about 2006. But it'd be interesting to see when I first started to reference it in there.
I think it was probably 2007 by the time I got into it.
Because I think it came out in 2004, didn't it? That's when they conceived the idea.
Yeah.
But it didn't get traction internationally to start off with because it was just about the universities and colleges in the States.
Yeah. And now look at it. It was amazing. And now it's just old people like us on it, which I think we are still amazing.
I know. I don't even know what they're currently using. It's probably TikTok, isn't it?
I do like a bit
Snapchat.
of TikTok. Oh, I think Snapchat is the big thing amongst the youngsters.
What's your name on TikTok?
My name is Mrs. Greet.
Mrs. Great.
Mrs. Greet.
And how does Tickety Talk work? Do you put an at the front of it and then it's...
Yep. You put an at, Mrs. Greet, and that is me, and you'll see how hilarious I actually am.
Yep. Add, like, subscribe.
I've only got about 4,000 followers, but you know. Always need more. Always need more.
It's about 3,999 more followers than this has.
Hey, I follow you.
There you go, 4,000.
Right, so Craig was dating Steph. I told him she was working tonight, although I wish I hadn't. It's just more competition for me, really, isn't it?
What a dick.
Oh, it is. Work was long, sweaty, and boring, but Steph kept me company.
Ooh, yeah.
I haven't found a flaw in her yet. You spelt floor as in the floor you walk on.
Yes.
Are you meaning a flaw as in
SLAW?
Oh my God.
She's not a flaw. She has no flaws. Carrying around flooring.
Oh.
Badly written, boy.
She's growing on me. We were talking about something parts and about fairs. Theme parks. And about fairs. She wants to go to the Hoppings with me.
That's definitely like first date territory, isn't it? Don't go to the Hoppings.
The Hoppings is amazing. Then when Craig and Tony had been in the shop, she reckons we should all go. Maybe we should all hold hands too. One big happy
Cock
fucking
blocked.
family. Wait, so like Craig and Tony, so as in like my friends.
Yeah. So all that just like screams like, that just screams friend zone. Because you wouldn't be inviting loads of other people, would you?
No, especially not other boys.
No.
And like, that was what she's into. You did call her a player earlier. Monday the 20th of June. Okay, so today was testing. Again, you like that word. Sometimes I don't know how I contain myself from snapping, turning green, and belting everyone within my reach.
Hulk smash.
So it's perhaps with little surprise then when being at work that is destroying me. Today I worked 12 till 6, and 2 hours into my shift, Paul beckoned me to his office. He proceeded to make an example of me in front of the trainee manager over what he considers to be my recent shortcomings. Firstly, he slated me over my willingness to do as I please. Example, refunds. I refunded some guy from this internet voucher because it's no longer valid. Paul insists I have no jurisdiction over that unless he wouldn't have given a refund because this guy might have been lying. As if my trusting other people is a character flaw. You've spelt flaw correctly this time.
Well, that shows growth.
Yes.
Progress.
And then secondly, he announced a member of staff had complained of me not pulling my weight last night and that I wasn't doing jobs left for me. This is false. And I then strived to identify the whistleblower.
Put the pipe in my mouth like Sherlock Holmes.
Who incidentally may as well have waved a flag. Mel, I'm on to you.
Mel, you bitch.
Bimbo!
Oh, bimbo, okay.
When she arrived at 6 in the office, she asked how Paul was, in the knowledge he's bollocks me. So I said, okay, he's fine, yeah, because I know she was fishing. She's either dumb enough to let the cat out the bag or a secret genius who is actually a ginger nut dyed blonde and is conspiring to antagonize the innocent. God, he's so dramatic.
Yeah. A lot of drama there.
My hatred of them all soon turned to satisfaction. I read the situation, red as in the colour.
Okay.
I read the situation and didn't act rashly. No heads fell, and I caught the culprits.
This afternoon, I tackled the strenuous task of cleaning the remaining pavers with Billy's breaker. It took a while and wasn't without its discomfort on my hearing, my back and my arms, which all took the brunt of the shuddering machine. At least it's done now. We got Billy some beer to thank him. Having got Billy's beer early on, I spoke to Steph and she said she'd be finishing at 10, so I went down to meet her. Stalker. Craig was waiting there too. So I think there's a bit of competition for her affections.
Thursday, 23rd of June. I worked at 6 till 12 this morning, but it was then told to stay until 2.
Disgraceful.
Making it a bit long. It was Audrey, who I was working with, hoarse and wrinkled, but always rosy. She has a gambling addiction with She has a gambling addiction with a lottery scratch cards and smokes Richmond Super King menthols.
Oh, I do vaguely remember her because she would just get bored and be like, I'm going to get another one.
Another one to scratch. Work was shit. I hate everyone there. I'm even down about Steph, who made it clear she does have a boyfriend today.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Is it Craig?
You know, I liked her too, but I'm just not built to be friends with girls. Well, she was one of the few reasons I've continued at Mills, and now I just can't take it anymore.
I just can't take it anymore.
You tear me apart!
You tear me apart, Steph. 25th, that's Saturday. I enjoyed toying around with eBay today, searching for Mega Drive games and seeing if any of my own stuff was highly valued. I set up a PayPal account so I don't have to mess around with a checkbook so much.
A checkbook?
Still, I got an email off Ewan, who is now in Townsville, Australia, having already been to Bangkok. Sounds like he's having a great time. I'm a bit envious. I wish I was in Australia. I wish Australia was a few hours away rather than a day. I've extended my overdraft at NatWest, so I can now afford my holiday. More debts. Terrific. I did serve up a little bit of bullshit, though, when asked what I needed it for. I simply said, for the rent. Craig knocked later on, wondering if I was going to a house party in Blythe. But I had already committed to work, so it was a case of what might have been. Work was different, though. Paul wasn't in, which was a bonus. That got exciting when the chip shop next door somehow caught fire.
Oh my God!
Smoke bellowed out the chimney. Smoke spelt... Oh no, that's how you spell smoke. Okay, the whole place was swarming with firemen, policewomen and spectators. It made the evening move along quite nicely. Ash was working and some new lad called Craig. Also that scheming bitch Mel. I bought Retro Gamer because it's cool. There was a herd of geeks in the store later on. They all had glasses and were wheezing.
Oh my God!
Wheezing spelled Weezing.
Monday, June 27th. I had all this stuff that I needed doing real bad today, and I didn't do any of it. First of all, my bedroom looks like it's been hit by a low category tornado. Just a low one, though.
Just low.
And it needs a clean. Secondly, I have a basket of ironing so high, Edmund Hillary would have turned back. And what did I do in the face of all these tasks? Like any self-respecting man, I went to the beach, of course. Not a beach in the Mediterranean kind, though, where people speak exotic languages and lie topless and tan in the sun. No, myself, Tony, and Ben were at Blythe Beach, where the sand is glass and subdivided by rotten wood fences. But the sun was out. I mean, Blythe's got better, though.
It has got better, but back then it was a shithole.
We all walked bitches, Bonnie and Bess, and watched them chase strangers. And vomit due to excessive seawater consumption. Oh, poor doggies. Imagine walking going,
They did. We were like, stop drinking the fucking seawater. They were like, no, it's so tasty.
Back home, I was on the net. I was surprised to see on the news that Richard Whiteley, the presenter of Countdown, has died at 61.
Oh, man. I used to love that show, and he was great.
It's a bit sad, really. Weekday afternoons of Channel 4 may never be the same again.
Carol Vorderman would have been there too.
Yeah.
I think she continued, but Countdown's still going now. Richard Whiteley was on Countdown on, do you remember About a Boy?
Yes.
They're watching that, and he was still presenting on then.
Yes.
I spent loads yesterday, and today I spent almost as much again. Where am I get the money from? The overdraft.
I was going to say, yeah, ma'am.
I had an appointment at Saks for 11 and got to town a little earlier so I could check out this top I saw in Top Man yesterday. It's a brown polo tee, bottomless, I should say, bottomless. Check out my belly. It's a brown polo with Las Vegas printed on it. Cool as you like. In Saks, they treat it like a short stay in a hotel. You check in and a whole host of other people tend to your needs. My need was to rid myself of the Brody Brunch haircut that I had and get some more eye-catching tips done for turkey.
Oh, no, not the tips.
And they washed my hair first. That was fine. They cut my hair next. That was fine. But then they jammed what I can only describe as a massive condom with loads of holes in it over my head.
Yep.
That was surreal. Then they proceeded to viciously gouge clumps of my hair through the holes with daggers, which was like being assaulted. And I was paying for this, ? They put the highlights in and waited around whilst it took effect Fortunately, they gave me some reading material in the meantime, and then they washed it again and styled it. It was a cool haircut, but at 50 quid, it ought to be. Thursday the 30th, I worked 3 till 9 at Mills. On this fun-filled occasion, I got to spend 6 hours with Wanda Doris, the chain-smoking hag. What made this shift even more weird was the big fat woman who looked like a pirate. A big fat man who looked like a pirate, sorry. He came into the shop to have me do this literacy and numeracy test, right? Which was about as challenging as breathing. I knew I was out of my depth when I was asked what time the hands of the clock were reading. Honestly, it was ridiculous. It must have been sort of some sort of work training or something, I guess. This evening, I watched Big Brother for the first time in a while. That was one of the programs used to portray England as a nation of losers in a documentary afterwards. Using royalty, politicians, soap operas, and sporting heroes / losers, it depicted England as being a population of people who slate our winners and celebrate our losers, because it's the participation, perseverance, and the ability to laugh at ourselves, especially in our failure, which characterises us. That is the end of the month.
Wow. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Gonna go to Turkey.
Gonna go to Turkey. Got excited about Steph. And
got cock blocked.
And then turned out she had a boyfriend anyway.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Slut.
Probably Craig.
You know what? I'm gonna have to ask him.
Yeah. Ask him when he actually went out with her, and ask him what that Mark Jackson character was like.
Oh well.
On the cusp of a trip to Turkey, that's pretty exciting. I don't think I'd ever been on a lads trip before, like a proper holiday abroad.
Yeah.
I haven't got much recollection of it.
Wasn't there an earthquake or something?
No. I'm sure I'll mention it in the next episode, but I think the week prior to us going on holiday, there was a bomb bus that killed a number of tourists, including a bunch of Irish.
I feel like there was something, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Michelle Greet, for being the guest speaker on the podcast this episode.
Yeah. Best guest ever.
I'm sure we'll be getting thousands more followers in addition to the one that we currently have.
Well, thank you very much, Badly Written Boy.
Success.
Wicked.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Badly Written Boy. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like and subscribe button.